Good morning. It's good to be here today, and we're gonna do work on a little more in the Isaiah study as we continue to go on. And I hope you've been enjoying it, and you certainly have some material to look up and to kind of study if you want to. So anyway, let's get started. This is Isaiah part 21. It covers Isaiah 14, 1 through 23, and we'll finish up the chapter a little bit later today, probably. And so, anyway, let's take a look. And this is dealing with the restoration of Jacob. And actually, one of the titles here is the restoration of Jacob. Starting in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1, it says, "For the Lord will have compassion on Jacob and will choose Israel again. He will settle them on their own land. The foreigner will join them and be united with the house of Jacob. The nations will escort Israel and bring it to its homeland. Then the house of Israel will possess them as male and female slaves in the Lord's land, and they will make captives their captors and will rule over the oppressors." Okay, the next part is Israel's remnant, taunts Babylon, and it, in 14 verse 3, it says, "When the Lord gives you rest from your pain, torment the hard labor that you are forced to do. You sing this song of contempt about the king of Babylon and say how the oppressor has quieted down and how the raging has become quiet. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers, and it struck the people in anger and unceasing blows. It subsided the nation. Subdued all the nation in rage and relentless persecution. All the earth is calm and at rest. People shout with a ringing cry. Even the cypresses and the cedars of Lebanon rejoice over you. Since you have been laid low, no woodcutter has come against us. Sheol below is eager to greet your coming. He stirs up the spirit of the departed for you, and all the rulers of the earth. He makes uh, all the kings of the nations rise from their thrones, and they will respond to you, saying, "You too have become as weak as we are. You have become like us. Your splendor has been brought down to Sheol, along with the music of your harps. Maggots are spread out under you, and worms cover you. Shining morning star, how you have fallen from the heavens, you destroyer of the nations. You have been cut down to the ground." Okay, and that's actually, we'll probably talk about it. That's actually, many theologians believe that's actually a symbol or a copy, if you will, of Satan. Okay, so back to 14:13. "You said to yourself, I will ascend to the heavens, and I will set up my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mount of the God's assembly, um, in the remotest parts of the north. I will ascend above the highest clouds, and I will make myself like the Most High. But you will be brought down to Sheol into the deepest regions of the pit. Those who see you will stare at you, and they will look closely at you. Is this the man who caused the earth to tremble? Who shook like kingdoms? Who turned the world into wilderness? Who destroyed its cities and and would not release the prisoners to return home. All the kings of the nation lie in splendor, each in his own tomb. But you are thrown out without a grave, like a worthless branch covered by those slain with the sword and dumped into a rocky pit with trampled corpse. You will not join them in burial because you are destroyed your land and slaughtered your own people. The offspring of evildoer will never be remembered. Prepare a place of slaughter for his sons because of the iniquity of their fathers. They will never rise up to possess a land or fill the surface of the earth with cities. I will rise up against them. This is the declaration of the Lord of hosts. And I will cut off from Babylon her reputation, her remnant, offspring, and prosperity. This is the Lord's declaration. I will make her a swamp and a region for screech owls, and I will sweep her away with the broom of destruction. This is the declaration of the Lord of hosts. So this is actually uh, what I was talking about. As I paused for a minute and said that most theologians think that this is that was a description of Satan and so forth. And so that's kind of what I was talking about as it went on. It described just exactly what they believe. Okay, and I as well. And but let's look at what all this really means. Isaiah 14, 1 through 23, is a prophetic message that moves from the promise of restoration for Israel to a famous poetic taunt song against the king of Babylon, which is often also interpreted as a reference to the fall of Satan. There you go. The core themes are God's compassion for his people, the downfall of human pride and oppressive power, and the ultimate sovereignty of God over all nations. The passage can be broken down into two main sections. The chapter begins by highlighting God's mercy for Jacob, Israel, and God promises to have compassion on Israel again and choose them as his people, bring them back to their own land from captivity in Babylon, and unite foreigners with him. Gentiles will join them in the worship, reverse their fortunes, and they will take captive their former captors and rule over their oppressors. Grant them rest from their suffering and turmoil and hush the labor. Okay, this section uh, sets the stage as the judgment on Babylon. It is a direct expression of God's mercy and plan to free Israel. We can see that once again. I've talked about it in Revelation, where it talks about Mystery Babylon, and it talks about that she's been brought down. Okay, and Jezebel is part of that, and so Mystery Babylon is a world order, if you will, that is against God and against God's people, and they'll be brought to destruction. And that's actually some of this is what it describes. The main body of the passage is a proverb or taunt song that Israel is to sing against the fallen king of Babylon. This is a funeral dirge that ironically mocks the ruler's downfall. Uh, Universal rejoicing in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 4 through 8, the earth at rest from the king's tyranny breaks into singing. Even the trees of Lebanon, the cypress and the cedar, gloat that no one is left to cut them down. Okay, Sheol uh, stirs. in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 9 through 11, the realm of the dead, Sheol, hell, is depicted as stirring to meet the arrival of the king. Former kings rise from their thrones to greet him with astonishment, asking, "How have you also become as weak as we?" This emphasizes that even the most powerful human ruler is just a mortal being, nothing more. The fall of the morning star, Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 through 15. This is the most famous part of this passage, where the king is called, O morning star, son of the dawn. Hebrew, he'll translated as Lucifer. Um, in Latin Vulgate, his ambition and pride are detailed. He sought to ascend to the heavens and make himself like the Most High. For this self exaltation, he is brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit, to the deepest depths, is what it says. And dishonorable, there's a dishonorable end in Isaiah chapter 14, verses 16 through 23. Onlookers stare, uh, barely recognizing the man who once made kingdoms tremble. Unlike other kings who receive honorable burials, the king is denied one, cast out like a rejected branch. His line is to be cut off, and Babylon itself is to be utterly destroyed, swept away with the broom of destruction, to become a possession in the hedgehog and swamps of the water. Okay, historically, the passage primarily refers to the actual historical king of Babylon, likely Nebuchadnezzar, or a future Babylonian king whose empire was ultimately conquered by Cyrus the Great of Persia in 539 BCE. The prophecy of total desolation was fulfilled as the city declined into ruins and became uninhabitable swampland over time. Prophetic, spiritual, many Christians' traditions interpret Morning Star section as a dual prophecy, referring not just to the human king, but also to the origin and the fall of Satan, the spiritual powerful behind the earthly throne of Babylon. Universal principle. On a broader level, the passage serves as a timeless message against pride and tyranny, teaching that no earthly power can withstand God's ultimate justice and sovereignty. What an amazing passage. And we're not even done with this chapter yet. And so I will get to that a little bit later. But anyway, amazing passage. And to be honest with you, I think it's very, very encouraging as well, because the truth of the matter is that it shows that God conquers it all. Okay, even that Satan, God conquers him, and it shows that in the long run. So I hope you guys had a good day and a good morning. I mean, and be able to study this out. Come back and check it out. The other thing is, please subscribe to this station or this channel, and give me a thumbs up and put some comments down and share it with others, and so that we could all be able to talk and to enjoy study. You have a great day and be blessed.